to do, but felt I needed some stability and support. Like my money ran out. I only had 3-4 months of money and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I kind of fell into that loss of trust and into that fear cycle. And that fear cycle quickly brought me down, and in a year and a half, I ended up in the hospital really sick. My daughter was 17 months old. And I was in Florida at the time for 5 days. My mom had to fly out because I lost all sensitivity in my entire body, and then wasn't able to hold my urination or defecation, lost my speech, couldn't walk, couldn't do anything. Wow. And after being in the hospital for a few days, they discharged me because they couldn't find a reason. And so my mom's like, I'm flying you out to UCLA, so which is in California where my parents lived. So they picked me up and flew me out with my daughter, and my son had to stay in Florida. And then I was there, and by that time I was in the hospital now for like 3 weeks, and they did every test you could ever know. And they couldn't find a reason except for some neurological ganglionopathy or something like that. And they're like, we don't know how to treat this. We've never seen it before. So we're gonna have to discharge you with a home nurse, a physical therapist, an occupational therapist. And I had to stop breastfeeding immediately. Like my daughter had to live with my mom, who she had met like twice in her life, and my parents would bring her to the hospital every day for like an hour, but I couldn't hold her, I couldn't talk to her. The only thing I could do was cry. Like that's all I could do, and she would just lay on my chest and I would just like cry, and I'd be like, okay, please, like give me a message. I've surrendered my children, I've surrendered my life, I've surrendered my business, I've surrendered my husband. And it came so clear, it's like, you're not following your path. You're not following your dreams. You're not following what you're here on earth to do. If you can commit to following back on your path, you will get better. And I was like, okay, I surrender. I will listen. I don't know what I'm listening for, but I will listen. And as soon as I started doing that, and I was discharged at home, I started getting better. And I got better 100% within a month. And when I went back for my neurological appointment a month later, when they were like, we don't know what we can do for you, they were expecting, because it's a research hospital, so there's always new doctors. So they had read the charts, and, I'm coming in for my appointment. They come to the waiting room. They're like, Kim, Nellie, and there I am, like pushing the stroller with my daughter. And they were like, are you Kim, Nellie? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, I just read through your chart. Like, you're supposed to be in a wheelchair and not able to move and things like that. And I was like, I'm all right now. And I was like, I really just need your authorization to check that I'm neurologically okay so I can continue on my life. And so they did their evaluation. They were like, yeah, you seem fine, so you can continue. And that's when I went back to Miami and told my husband, I was like, we didn't get married again, but I was like, this isn't working. I'm not happy. I have to fulfill my dreams. And the Dolphins are calling me. And I promised Naya I was going to take her to the Dolphins every year. Her birthday's in 7 days. I'm buying a one-way ticket, and I'm not coming back. And he was like, okay. And I had to trust that there's some way that my son was going to be able to come out and join me. And I was so torn, but I was like, I have to fall back into that trust because I know what it felt like. I know what it felt like to be supported and to be loved, and like everything would fall together. And my ex-husband ended up bringing him out, and we started our lives and re-met with Allie and started doing the conscious pregnancy retreats. And everything since we've arrived has just come together, but it's always last minute. It's like we've moved 4 times since we've been here, not because we wanted to, but because situations occur, and it's like, okay, you need to leave by this date or this or that, and like we're like, what are we gonna do? And it's like always like 2 or 3 days before we need to be out is like something manifests itself for us. And we just have learned this, and we know that we want women, especially in this world of go, 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 go. Like, I've experienced that world. I've ran my own business. I homeschooled my kids. I tried to have a relationship in this box of, like, wasn't working. And so it's like, if every woman could just take a break, maybe they can't take 3 months or a year off, but if they could even have 10 days to come out here and experience what it feels like to be loved, to be supported, to surrender, to let go, to love, to trust, like, wow, what does that feel like? And then connect with their unborn baby. So that is what I am dedicated to now. That is, as long as I stay on that path, as of now, the dolphins keep giving me messages every time, whether I'm in the water or not in the water, and I keep being supported by the universe. As soon as I feel like something, maybe I should go back because my son's now back in Florida, like maybe I should go spend a couple months with him. It's like they land this pregnancy retreat on me in Maui for 15 days, and I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to still be here. So